Hello everyone, I'm Debbie Polachek. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making the easel card that we have made to go with this watercolor that we did earlier. First of all, I'm going to take that watercolor, and that is a piece of watercolor paper that Stampin' Up sells. That is, let me see what size that is. It is 7 inches long and 5 inches wide. Okay, now I did do the first cut at 5 inches by 3 3/4, and then I cut this 3/4 inch strip right here that I'm doing right here. And notice that I'm trying to leave those two leaves right there together intact. And I wish I had done it's just left 2 complete leaves there, because one of them's kind of cut off a little bit. Right now I'm showing you these strips that I had cut from very vanilla paper. I used one complete 8.5 by 11 sheet of very vanilla cardstock to make this whole card. This big one right here is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at, on the long side, 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. And right here I'm folding that piece of cardstock. That one that I just laid on top is cut 5.5 by 4 1/4. And as you can see, I am going to glue that to that piece of cardstock. Just on that one flap, I kind of according folded to that, if you noticed. So here I am gluing it. I like to line it up with glue, because so it gives me a little bit of wiggle room to get it all straight. On those little strips that you see right there, I cut 3 of them that are 1 inch by 5.5 inches long, I believe. Let me check for sure. Yeah, 3 of them, 1 by 5.5 inches, and the other one was just a scrap that I'll be using for the little sentiment later. And there is a piece of vellum that I cut 7 inches by 2.5 inches. I'm going to use that in the middle. The vellum really does kind of help tone down everything. The copper color greeting was kind of lost without that vellum being there, so that's why I chose to stick the vellum on top. Anytime you have something that's kind of like overwhelming and kind of gets to be too busy in the foreground, it's a good idea to use vellum. I want to take a minute to thank you for your support of this channel. I truly enjoy making these videos for you. All your support by liking, sharing, and even leaving your comments are all necessary for this channel to grow. Okay, now I'm going to place that on top of there, and I think what I do is use some little of the dimensionals, the larger ones. My dream is to have a team of friends, all Stampin' Up demonstrators that love this craft as much as I do. Demonstrators that would love to share their talents with others in their own hometowns or even here on YouTube. Demonstrators that I could help with their own goals, whatever it might be. Being a Stampin' Up demonstrator has been so rewarding for me in ways that I never expected. I never thought I would enjoy teaching, and sure didn't think I would ever have the guts to be here on YouTube. If you think that this is something that you would like to do, just go to my website listed below. There you will find my contact information. Now I'll get all these little things off the back of this card and get it stuck to the top. I'm going to try to center it so it's in the middle of that card there. Okay, now we're going to take those 1 inch strips and glue all 3 of those together back to back. It's going to make a kind of a thick little kickstand for that card to lean against. Third. Oh, there I'm gluing the decorative piece that I painted to place in the center of that. Next I'm going to be poking holes, one on each end, to put some brads to help decorate that little area there. And I have pulled out the little mat that goes with our tool that cleans out the dies, and that mat is too soft for what I was trying to do. Those 3 pieces or 4 pieces of paper just made it too stiff for that to go through, so I really needed the piercing mat, but I couldn't find it at that time. And that was just a little similar to a piercing mat. It's a little coarser mat, but it's very thin. That was used for the Stamparatus. So be sure and use a piercing mat for something that thick. And here I'm putting on the metal brads, squishing them down with my scissors so they'll be as flat as possible. Oops, I must have lost one. There it comes. There we go, squashing it down again. Well, earlier I glued it before I remembered to put the brads on. That's why I've had trouble kind of sticking to everything. And I didn't ever notice that when I glue something down, I use my fingers like I'm a pianist or something. Maybe that was in another life or something. Who knows why I do that? I never even noticed I do it. Strange watching yourself on these videos. And it's really strange hearing yourself on these videos. Here I'm using a stamp, the die set that's called Word Wishes. It's a beautiful stamp. And I'm also using the Gathering Leaves die to cut out the leaves of that stamp set. This has a lot of pretty sentiments in there. It has St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, Father's Day, Valentine's, Thanksgiving Day, New Year's, Halloween, Easter, Happy, Merry, Mothers. So it can be used for about everything. I'm going to cut, I didn't do it on the first one, but I thought, oh, that's pretty. I noticed that leaf, so I thought I'd cut that in the foil too. I also like to, especially when I'm showing you this because when your dies are new and they're that detailed like that, it's very helpful to use a piece of wax paper the first couple times when you use it. It helps so much to lift it out later on. If not, it's just quite a little struggle to get that paper out of that die. And that's the leaves that goes along with that stamp set that's called Gathering Leaves. I'll have all that in the description below so you can order it easily if you want it. Okay, now I'm ready to do the die cutting. And it looks like I got that leaf a little crooked. Oh well, it's not the first time. It won't be the last time. Even with the washi tape trying to hold it down. But I use my washi tape over and over again because I'm too cheap to just throw it away. So kind of wears out after a while. But you notice I didn't throw it away even now. On here, see that little end of that other tool? That's the part I should have left the little dies on and used it on. But, you know, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Kind of do things the way you're used to doing it or have always done it. Poking them little centers out of each one of those letters. But that tool makes it nice, a lot easier to do it if you use it. There I'm trying to use it, but without the support of the die, it doesn't work as well. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to stamp my Sentiment. I'm using that one out of that same set there. Can't remember what it says, but you can see it on the pictures. Let me put one of those pictures in right now. Straight. I don't think I do the first time. Still got glue on my fingers from when I touched that thing earlier. Oh, I'm using early espresso for the ink. On my first one I used the gold embossing powder, but I thought this early espresso might be a little bit better with those little tiny letters. It would be a little bit clearer to read with just using ink. Now here I'm kind of not used to this trimmer just yet to cut these little bitty strips. So it's a little bit off. But I go ahead and use it anyway. Okay, here we're going to just glue the little sentiment on that base. Inside of that, when you flap that open, it's plenty of room to write your little message inside of there. I'm going to use those same dimensionals on the back of that leaf to kind of raise that up. And glue those little greetings to the back. I just kind of like to use a little dot of that glue, particularly on the ends of the letters. Where did I go? Oh, get my glasses. I wear contacts, but contacts and glasses work real good for this tiny, tiny work. I'm 63 years old and hard to see. Okay. I put that to the very bottom of that vellum and hanging it off the end of that card just a little bit. I want to leave myself plenty. Oh, it looks like I missed one of them little centers of those letters. Leaving myself plenty of room for that leaf to put on there later. And just kind of see where I want it to go. Okay, here we go with the glue again. Some sticky fingers. You noticed I'm kind of using the side of my hand that ain't sticky yet to get that stuck on there. And here I forgot to take the little backings off of the dimensionals. But I'll figure it out in a minute. Decided I like that little copper leaf kind of poking out the back of that one. There it goes. See what you do? You do it all wrong. Anyway, I appreciate you coming by and listening to me trying to make this video. Also, notice in the description below there's a list of items that I used in this project. Also, take a minute to read the benefits of ordering through my website. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching my video.